How is this for voice?
I don't know. Let's see. Now I'm close by. I get further and further and further and further and further. Blah, blah, blah. So if I speak like this, if the microphone
Arco?
Market.
is going to the market.
I'm good, thank you, mate.
I'm good. Thank you, man.
Oh,
All right. Guys, today we are in the amphitheater of Cash. And let's see. How do you like this place?
I love it. It's extraordinary. It feels like a unique experience being here right now.
It
There's
is.
blue. There's the color of sand melded into this incredible structure, which I'm sitting on, and which you were speaking to me on. It's yeah, it's remarkable. And I
Yeah.
can see a lighthouse as well. We have an amphitheater, we have a lighthouse, we have some boats, we have some sea, we have a Greek island just across there.
Which island is this one? I think it's Castellorizzo.
I think that's
That's
right. Yeah,
Castellorizzo.
yeah.
In the 70s, I think, they shoot an Italian movie over there with Diego Batantuono. I'm not sure, but must be that one. But let's check the audio. But this is already a great intro. This is already great, and it's natural. And it's natural. Okay, we're good. So maybe I'll put the intro, maybe not. But guys, today we are here with Stewart and another secret guest that is just there. Maybe you'll see him later or maybe not, but we will see. And as you know, I don't interview like often on the channel. Sometimes I do vlog, sometimes I do interviews, and I choose really carefully who I interview because I want people that can improve me and they can improve you, and they are on a journey. That's why today we have Stewart on the channel. And first question, who are you, Stewart?
Who am I? That's a broad question. It's a big question. That's an intimidating question. So I'll try and break it down bit by bit. Who am I right now? I am a trekker. I've been trekking. I've been exploring. I've been exploring previously Nepal. I came from Nepal where I trekked for 2 months. And now I'm here and I'm on the Lycian Way. I've been trekking for 1 week. And it's been very challenging. I was very surprised, a little bit dangerous at times. Have you experienced any of the Lycian Way or trekking in this area?
I will describe it as a little walk. I did some heavy trekking in my life. Like I trek on Torres del Paine in Chile, which is that's very beautiful.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I think
Windy, I heard. No, quite windy.
very, very, very windy. And you get above, you see the Torre and the lake. And most people, they don't really see the tower and the lake because it's windy and it's cloudy most of the time. I was lucky because it was like 12, 14 hours hike and I saw the tower and the lake. So that is a trail like you did right now, actually. The thing I did here in Turkey is in Turkey, because otherwise my people, they in Turkey, no, I will describe them like walk. I've been walking around. Yeah.
Certainly the ones I've done here I found more challenging than the treks in Nepal. Well, challenging in a different way. In Nepal, there was 5,000 meter plus hikes, so you have altitude to deal with. Here, the paths are very unclear and not. Sometimes you can get lost quite easily. I'm thankful that I had trekking buddies with me at each stage. But you have loose rocks and steep descents and thorn bushes. Felt like Indiana Jones, like being attacked by different kinds of vegetation and stones of different shapes and sizes and
kind of tricky.
Yeah,
kind of tricky. Yeah.
It. When you were talking about weather in Torres del Paine, maybe my pronunciation.
Torres del Paine.
Torres del Paine. My pronunciation is. I studied Spanish a few years ago, but
All right.
it reminds me of when I was younger and we went up. We hiked up mountains in Scotland, where I'm from, and you could really get 4 seasons in one day.
Exactly.
You'd
Exactly.
start at the bottom of the mountain. I remember it was sunny, beautiful sunshine, with a friend of mine, and I thought, this is going to be a beautiful hike. This is going to be serene. This is going to be relaxing. I'm going to feel refreshed afterwards. And then a little further up, it got windy, and then a little further up, there was a little rain, and then at the top of the mountain, there was hailstones, like little balls of ice, torrents of these little balls of ice. And my friend and I were wondering, what do we do? Do we stay here? Do we go forward? We were at the midway point, so it was just as far to go forward to the finish point as it was to go back. So we hid behind a rock, and a few minutes later, sunshine. Yeah. It's, I don't know, maybe that's a metaphor for things in Scotland. I don't know. It's too complicated for me to think right now.
No, but it's like life. It's like I thought about a metaphor exactly at the same moment, I think. It's like life. One day is sunny, one day is rainy, one day a hailstorm, someday hail like this hit your head. And after 5 minutes, it's done, like it never happened.
You need to be patient, that's all.
Yes,
It's a
you need to
waiting
be
game
patient.
sometimes. It's gonna
And
get
on
better.
the ground.
Yeah,
And on
yeah.
the ground. And take the season. Take the season.
Yeah, and do a little bit of research as well. That always helps. A little
Yeah.
bit of preparation.
But yeah, that's the weather. But I got another question for you. This is who are you right now? Who you were?
A friend of mine once said, and I like this phrase, we are everything we have ever been. So I did answer your question saying, who am I right now? But of course, that brings with it a lot of other things from my past. How did I come to this point right now? I guess you're
Exactly.
asking me.
How did you arrive today here with me in Turkey, in Kash, on the amphitheater of Kash, in this sunny day of today is the 3rd of June.
I was ready to leave. You were very lucky indeed. I was ready to leave, and I was having tea with my friend who's off camera right now. Mystery person who
Our
might appear
secret
later.
friend.
And I bumped into him, and we had some tea. He's very much a tea lover, and I love tea as well. I'm usually based in China. Actually, that's somewhat part of my story.
Take
as
your
well.
time. I told you.
Someone part of my story as well. So I bumped into him, and I decided I'm not going to leave Kash today.
All right.
I think I'll stay for another day. Perhaps we'll see a performance in this amphitheater
Tonight. Okay.
I'm looking forward to that. Before that, I have been trekking and camping, and I guess that can be traced back to, as I mentioned, Nepal. Before Nepal, I was in China.
And that's a juicy part of the story.
So I was in China doing different jobs in education for the last, I don't know, maybe 20 years. I've been an educator in various different situations and contexts, but mostly in countries in East Asia. And I was in China. I was studying there at a university that I got a scholarship for. And I wanted to take a break from my time there and change my master's degree. So I left China. I'll return there in September. And in between, I have this space to go trekking, to explore nature, to reflect on what I want to do next after China,
The next
during
step.
China. Yeah, the next step. Yeah.
That's the beauty of the direct, because we are in a public space and people pass by to take photos. That's part
This
of
is,
the
this
yeah.
is the nature of live filming.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a convoluted story, but that's what brought me here. My background is largely in education and travel. I love both. I love experiencing different cultures, and that's That's a reason why whenever I come to a different country, I try.
Sorry, man, you are just in front of a camera and I'm doing an interview. Спасибо большое.
Не понимаю.
Yeah.
Но он
Говори по-русски?
yes.
Окей.
Конечно.
Работа.
Работа, у вас
Yeah.
работа. У нас отдых.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta cut this part because the guy was there with the thing. So
Russian mafia.
now they understand this part. Yeah, but you see the camera, fucking hell.
No,
He got there like this with a dick. Come on, fucking hell, man.
Don't cut this out, please.
I want this to be part. I want this to be part. Of
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll cut it. I'll cut the fucking part.
But perhaps why did I choose education? Well, I chose education because it gives me an opportunity to be creative. I love writing. I love creating. Some people have described me as an artist. I've worked with
You
artists.
are. I can see that.
I've worked with artists. I don't know. I've several friends who are performance artists who I have worked with in different situations.
All right.
So what is my hobby or my current engagement is trekking, but what's my next artistic project? Well, maybe I will start creating some content for YouTube. Maybe.
He'll have a YouTube channel soon. And in my opinion, everyone that want to start it, something, every project, just do it. Just do it. That's what I told him today. That's what our secret guest behind the scene told him today. And that's what I'm telling you today, guys. If you want to do it, just do it. Just do it. Just start and do it. And you'll see. You'll see if you like it or not. But this is you right now. First, how old are you?
I'm 47.
47 years old. You look way younger.
Thank you very much. You're very generous.
And judging how much you walk and where you've been walking, you are in shape. But who were you like in your 20s? And what lead you here today? I mean, you took a big step from let's say Europe,
To East Asia.
let's say UK,
Yeah.
or Europe anyway, to East Asia, like Eastern culture, Eastern value, Western culture, Western value. It's a big shift for a long time. So how? Why? Because this is, it's okay. No worries. Say hi to the camera. And yeah, what?
When I left the UK, it was shortly after I finished a master's degree in European philosophy.
That's the cool part.
So European philosophy, a lot of the people I was studying, the continental philosophers, German and French philosophers, people like Gilles Deleuze and Hegel and Heidegger, these people, a lot of them were directly or indirectly influenced by Eastern philosophy.
Okay.
So I became interested. I'm sure a lot of people who are interested in those philosophers will argue or dispute this a lot, but
You can insult
you
him in
can
the
insult
comment.
me. That's okay. You can insult me. You can criticize me all you like. So this made me interested in Eastern culture, and also when I left for my first job in East Asia in Taiwan.
In Taiwan.
In Taiwan.
Wow. Nice.
Or the island of Taiwan.
Yeah, of course.
Depending on how you want to view it, mainland China.
Yeah, but we don't get into politics.
The first time, that was my first job, I arrived there, and this is a bit of a detour in our story, and which ties with the present. I found a book in Taiwan.
You found a book, like a real book?
I found a book in English. It's originally written in French. It's called In Search of Lost Time.
Search of Lost Time.
I believe it's the world's longest book, one of the greatest French, a great French classic. There are 7 volumes of this book, and I found this in a secondhand bookstore in Taiwan. I thought it was written in Chinese.
The full 7.
Well, the first volume.
Okay.
The first volume, and I thought, okay, there's Chinese symbols on the outside. That probably means there's Chinese symbols inside, but I opened it and it was all in English.
Wow.
So I read the first volume, Swan's Way, and around 20 years later, I finished the final volume around the COVID time.
So like the book chose you, and it took you 20 years to read the 7 volumes.
It took me, because I wasn't going to read it all.
Of
It was
course,
so
of
big. It was
course.
like, okay, 1 volume's enough. And then I read another, and then I read another. And then I finally completed it just around COVID. So 20 years had gone by.
Can I ask you something? Like, it's a tricky one on a chit chat like this, but when you read a book like that, I believe that that book chose you in Taiwan that day.
Yes.
You didn't choose the book chose you, the book found you. And it took a long time for the book to find you, right there and then. What are the best 3 things that you extract from the book in 20 years' time? What are the bullet points that you can give it to me, like distilled, like squeezed, and you can give to the audience by reflection of? I know it's a hard question, like especially on the spot.
Artistically, it's not so much about the message. So the book itself was very influenced by philosophy of time, the French philosopher Henri Bergson. And he was the guy who came up with the idea of duration. So you might be familiar with this when people say, oh, that moment felt, a moment that was actually 5 minutes, felt as though it took 2 hours.
Like an eternity.
Yes, yes. So his ideas on duration kind of filtered into popular culture and popular knowledge that way. What I learned from reading this book is just how much joy can be taken in reading and giving detailed descriptions of physical objects. It's a strange lesson I learned, but I found the beauty of language in describing things, whether it's a stone or a tree or the sky, because this book spends so long describing things in infinite detail. And the description itself is creating a little work of art in each page. It's like carving a little sculpture in each page. And I hope to do that when I write or when I speak. Maybe not right now because this is off the cuff. This is very loose. But when I speak in more formal settings or when I teach, I like to be able to give works of art to my students, to my peers, to people listening to me with all that detail.
For example, when I watch a movie or when I read a book, I really enjoy when the author or the director choose carefully the dialogue. First, I still remember some of them, but I feel that side of it enriching, like deeply enriching, and I can see what you try to, the message that you try to get across. The description with the accurate word in infinite detail is fascinating first, but mostly is enriching. Like you feel after reading for, let's say, 1 hour, 1 week, 1 year, you feel enriched by it, and this is good.
Yeah, it's sometimes overwhelming. The book itself is massive. Well, all the volumes put together is massive.
Yeah.
7 volumes with 500, 600 pages or something.
Each,
for
yeah. It's an
Uh,
opera. It's an opera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's massive. But I think he may have written the world's longest sentence in fiction, anyway, as well.
Which
You
is
can correct me on that.
you remember?
There's a sentence. Well, I mean, I can't remember the whole. I
No,
haven't
just-
memorized
yeah.
the whole sentence because there's commas, there's semicolons. That's very long because he's describing something in so much detail. It just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Which to some people sounds boring and intimidating, but for me, it's like immersive. You're being immersed within the sentence, within a paragraph, within the chapter, within the book, and then eventually within the whole book.
And you
It
can
is
visualize
like,
it.
Yes, it's almost like you're being absorbed into a whole world. Yeah,
That's
a whole
fascinating.
world of his memories, and then eventually your own memories, because you start thinking about your own past in incredible detail, or at least I did.
There is a book that remind me of this. It's called. Now I have to cut because I don't remember it. Is forget it.
Yeah.
It's about a Roman emperor that wrote a book, a memoir on himself, and basically he struggled to wake up from the bed. He was a Rome emperor, like he can get everything he wanted, but he wrote a memoir, a self-reflection book on himself, and it was not meant to be published. It was private. It was his diary, basically, but he exposed the fact that even an emperor still is extremely human. I can't believe I don't remember the name of it right now, but maybe I'll put something in the comment, or maybe no, I don't know.
Yeah, so this book is a fictional autobiography by the writer about his childhood and his adolescence, and then eventually his position as an adult. It was incredible. That was in Taiwan 20 years ago. I first encountered this book.
But who were you 20 years ago?
20 years
Who
ago.
are
well,
you now?
So I was a philosopher. I was a philosopher 20 years ago. I'm still engaged in philosophy casually now. Perhaps sometime in the future I will return more formally to philosophy. But I've incorporated. I realized philosophy did appear to me, or gave me the impression.
Sorry. Marco Aurelio is the guy, is the emperor of Rome. Marco Aurelio is not like
of course, the
the
Stoic.
last. Exactly.
Yes.
Marco Aurelio, Seneca, and so on and so forth. Sorry for the interruption, but it came to me.
Yeah.
The
Incredible
guy.
writer.
You cannot call Marco Aurelio the guy.
Yeah, that
So-
guy who.
Yeah.
Who wrote
Yeah.
Very influential philosophers now, very fashionable now among business people, I think, among other.
Aurelio? Marco Aurelio?
Yeah. So I think at the time I loved philosophy, but I thought it was a very insular, inward-looking, antisocial pursuit. And I thought I wasn't ready to lock myself away in a room with candles and books,
Yeah.
dusty books.
You are a young guy also.
I was a young guy. And 22, was I 22 when I finished my master's? Yeah, 22 when I finished my master's degree. So I went to Taiwan. I left for East Asia. That was the first time I had traveled by myself.
And that's amazing.
And it was to the other side of the world. I thought, no, if I'm going to leave, if I'm going to go somewhere, it's
You
going to
feel
be
alive.
extreme.
You feel alive. And I love that. Yeah.
So so my first year in Taiwan was very difficult because I was not a people person, and I was working as a teacher and teaching English to kids and adults. So that was very difficult for me, but I learned a lot, maybe more than
In the university.
I've learned since. No, when I was working in this job, I wasn't working at university. I was working in a language training school.
All right.
In Taiwan. My first job was not at a university. I was working at a language training school where I worked with children, with adults, small groups, maybe 10, 12 students. That was my first ever job. Yeah.
And what did you learn? You say you learned more.
I mean, I learned about how to make classes entertaining for all different ages. So I was learning to engage with, to be able to teach children, to be able to teach adults, people who are retired. Children, I think my youngest student was 3 years old, and my oldest student was around close to 70.
So you became way more empathic than before because
Yes,
you say that you were not a people person.
absolutely.
You developed that side of you.
And it was hard work. It was something very, very new to me, because it's not just one kind of person or one age group or even the same number of people in the same class. And I was also learning that as part of the teaching universe. So that I learned a lot during that year, but it was very tough. And then after that, I realized that I like people quite a lot.
I love people. I'm a people person. You saw it. I'm a people person. I love people. I like to be by myself. I like to stay alone, but people feed me energy. Like I love to absorb and love to give, and I feel like I'm a people person. Like I get satisfaction from learning from people. That's why I do this. I mean,
You get energized when you go to
Yes.
social events?
yes, not social event, from speaking.
Hmm.
Like the conversation that I have with you right now,
Yeah.
the conversation that we had there before, I enjoy that, and this is one of my favorite way to learn, and it make me feel alive, and it grow me. I feel it, and basically that's why I quit everything I used to do before, and I start to do this, because I say I like to have deep conversation with people. I like to put on the table, as I told you before, deep and good conversation that enrich me and enrich you. And that's why I came out with the YouTube channel, because I say, how can I monetize that skill that I have in a way that doesn't feel work for me? And I came up with this. Monetize is a big word because the channel is not creating an income yet, but still I don't feel it as work. I feel I will spend my time like this with you today and him today anyway, this way. So that's the thing. That's why I keep asking how you were, what you became, what did you learn? Because I'm very
What? Well, what did I learn?
just having a look, because I want to see if we are both still in the cam. You getting out, so come closer. No, come close. Yeah, come. Okay, that's good. Yeah, because I don't want you to get out of the camera. So
Well, I went from a very extreme version of the intellectual life to very social, very people-focused
person,
person-focused person. Uh, and I've continued that way, but I've worked a little bit more, but I've managed to integrate the two more now, because as I mentioned before we had this conversation, I work in universities now. So I get to be around people who are creative, who are intellectual, who are ambitious, who are doing innovative things. I get to be part of that, and I get to do that as well with students in the classroom and with other colleagues. I was very fortunate when I worked in Korea. I worked in Seoul for 7 years, and 6 years were at a university there, and there were many art students. And I had the opportunity to be with students, be with people in a culture which is very, very busy during high school for an extremely important exam at the end of high school. And then after university, they go into, generally speaking, people go into very, very demanding jobs,
yeah.
which take up all their time, all
In
their
Japan, the
social
same.
time. Japan as well. I worked in Japan as well. And I had that moment of time at university where these students had freedom to explore who they were,
Breathe.
their loves, to breathe, to take in,
look
socially,
up. Yeah.
and professionally as well. And I was very fortunate to be there, and I'm going to be doing that again.
That was I was thinking. You had a very fortunate angle because you saw the extreme, like some culture like Japan or Korea are very deep, narrow focus to become like the best, but at the same time they don't have time to breathe and to like cultivate their passion. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate. I appreciate. Where are you from?
Australia.
All right, mate. How you doing, mate? How's it going?
G'day.
Where are you from, Australia?
Sydney.
All right. I've been there living in Balmain.
Oh, really? I live in Narrabeen,
All
on the
right.
Northern Beaches.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for choosing to pass here.
Yeah, I wonder if you guys were
Yeah, we are
from-
making an interview, but some people just pass by here. I appreciate, man. Thank you so much.
Right, take care.
There is a question that I wanted to. There is 3,000 questions that I want to ask you, but let's divide it in two. First, you've been in Japan, you've been in Korea, you've been in China, you've been in Taiwan. What are the main difference for you between their culture and their way of living? That's a hard question.
It's a hard question. I can only tell you about my personal
Yes.
my personal experience. I loved all the regions that I worked in, that I have worked in, for different reasons. Korea, I was very fortunate. I had a wonderful job and wonderful colleagues, and who are from many different countries around the world, including, of course, Korea. And I started. I really was part of an artistic community in Korea. There was a lot of things going on in Seoul at the time, and all across Korea. I mean, now, of course, you know that K-pop was big at the time. K-pop is enormous now, and they have movies and TV shows.
Yeah, I
which
know
are like,
something about.
I mean, this was not so much the case when I was first in Korea in around 2008. So that was an incredible experience for me. Japan, I think maybe for someone from the UK or from the US, there are all three countries can be more indirect in their method of communication. So that's something to get used to. I think that's something to try and work with.
I know that, and I agree.
Perhaps Japan is the most extreme in that sense. So it's a very polite culture as far as we understand the word polite, but it can be more difficult to understand really what's going on.
Yeah.
So that was a challenge. I think Korea and China are less indirect. China, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I want to talk about these countries.
Yeah, be careful because
I know what
there is a robo dog drone that is listening to us like over there.
I'm just
No, I get it.
Yeah. I think we'll cut that out. It's always, yeah.
They cannot. You cannot.
I mean, even mentioning.
Yes. Even mentioning is a taboo, even for us that we are not from there. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Even mentioning can be not good. So we don't. But this give a measure for people that understood the conversation. And
You can also just say what they make you feel.
I know. I'm getting tired. I'm running out of ideas. So when I was in China, you can
You're leaving?
To eat and
I need to eat soon.
Yeah,
I
me
really
too.
need to eat.
Let's see. Let's see. We did 33 minutes. I told you. We start with 10, 15.
I think it was probably about 15 minutes of good combo.
I want to ask you the last two questions
Okay.
quickly before we leave.
I'll
First,
see you down there if you're going to get some lunch.
come here, say hi to our guest. This is our mysterious friend that actually we choose this location because of him.
I almost disappear.
Dun, 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 dun. And then after I will, because he's got a YouTube channel as well, we will put it, but I'm gonna put the link of his YouTube channel as well in the video. But I'm gonna ask you the last two questions. First question: if there is an advice that you can give to the people of the channel and to me in life, what it will be?
Now, not later.
Start now, not later.
Yes.
I get that. I
Yeah.
get that.
The older I get, the more I realize generally
Just do it.
opportunities come around once. So if you're offered to do something that seems really unique and exciting, then take that opportunity.
I agree.
If you feel, oh, I'm not in the mood to do that, if you don't feel ready, I think if you're ready to do something, it's already a little too late to start it.
Yes, I get it.
Do it now. You'll learn. You'll get better at it. You'll make mistakes, but you'll get better at it.
That's a very good piece of advice. That's a very good piece of advice. That's something that I kind of feel that I knew, but the part when you say if you feel that you are ready to do something is already too late because you have already too much confidence. You should have started earlier when you were not confident
Yeah.
enough to do mistakes and learn and keep the learning curve. Thank you so much for that. That's a very good one. And I give you the same advice on the YouTube channel. Just do it. Just do it and see how it goes. That's how I did it. And some people even enjoy the channel. Some people insult me on the comment. Some people even enjoy the channel. But I feel good. I enjoy this. And second question, you already know the question. What is love for you? Doesn't have to be related to a person, can be related to nature, can be related to heart, can be related to the sun. What is love for you? Because this is the next question that I include in my interviews. I'm fascinated by love. I'm really fascinated by love.
It's not something I.
You were not prepared for it. I know. I'll tell you what Dante Alighieri answered when I interviewed Dante Alighieri on the channel. He said, love is the power that moves the sky and the other stars. You can watch the interview with Dante Alighieri on in no, but I mean, it's a cool question, and I'm keen to know more about it. So that's why I ask you, what is love?
It's motivation.
That's a good answer.
It motivates you to do things, and it is pure motivation.
Yeah.
It is pure motivation. That's it.
It's the
You
purest,
do, yes.
the purest form of
It's
motivation.
what moves you forward when there are obstacles in the way.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. And really, really, really deeply thank you for your time. Stewart, it was a pleasure. I really hope that you start the channel soon because I'm gonna follow you. I think I can learn more from you. And guys, I really hope that you enjoy the video. Now, I'm gonna first a nice selfie. And I'm gonna show you the location because we were thinking where we're gonna do the video. Look at the place. I mean, like this, you can sour the full souring. You can enjoy the full place. Look at the view that we had during this interview. So I really hope you enjoy the video and See you in the next one. Boom.